The second thing we need to start doing according to the assignment, let me just share the assignment with you, is something that's going to be a little bit tedious. But in the assignment, the first thing that you will need to do after, of course, setting your metric, you already did that because, as we said, I already told you how to do the metric, how to set your metric template and start drawing on it, is that so the thing is, we need to start setting up some standard layers. So even if you started creating your own kitchen according to the instruction that I showed you of how to do that kitchen, your kitchen should be almost similar or a little bit different or a U shape, but the same commands that you used for creating this kitchen are the ones that you're going to be using for creating your kitchen. We set the template or the metric template, as we said, according to the instruction in that video. And we started drawing the galley kitchen on top of it. And if you have different measurements for your drawing limits, you can expand the drawing limits a little bit if you want to, or you can stick to the drawing limits of your kitchen, which is the length and the width, or the X and Y. So right now, the first thing in the assignment that the assignment is, or maybe it's one of the first requirement, is to actually start putting those layers into order inside of your file. So viewing the CAD standards is not really important, okay? Anything that I give you in the videos are more than enough. We don't have that anymore to be distributed to students. And again, the videos are more than enough to help you with that, because we list everything that the CAD standards is talking about. So the layers here in the file, in the 142 assignment file, is the layers that you should be creating in your file. Okay, so what I will do, the ones that are highlighted by red are those that you should be creating in the file. So it's going to take a lot of your time, and make sure. And the thing is, I will check them because you're going to submit the CAD file for me. So I will check those, and we're going to be using all of those. So that's why it's very important that you go over them and start creating them one by one. The one that I will create, as I go along, is that I'm going to create the e-wall here because we're going to create the walls for the kitchen that we have, or for my kitchen at least. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go to layer properties, and I'm going to start the A wall. And this is, I know that this is blue. Okay, and I know that also this is 0.05, 0.5 millimeter. Okay, and I'm going to also assign this to be the current layer. Okay, so just want to make sure, because sometimes I forget myself. It's a wall in blue in 0.5. That's the architectural and load bearing. So let me just go back here, and that's the layer. Now, if I want to start creating the lines on that layer, as we said, I must actually click here for this layer to be active. So that's the current layer that I will start drawing on. And then I'm gonna click close. All right, and I will start creating the layer. Now, in your assignment, if you don't have the thickness for the wall, you may use what's inside of the assignment. Because if we go here, if I scroll down after all of this, you're gonna see that, well, maybe I have the A wall here, and I think in the assignment file on the, I think it's mentioning a thickness on the assignment file that is written on Moodle. So the thickness, when creating the outline of exterior walls, we're going to ignore the wall openings such as windows for now and doors, and we're going to create this on the A wall. In the Moodle, you have a number. Okay, the number is 305. We may use this, all right, for the exterior wall if you want to, if you couldn't measure the exterior wall, because, or if you don't have or you're living in an apartment, you may use another number. So I'm going to give you two options here. I am here going to be using, for my exterior wall, which is going to extend from here to here, I'm going to use the number that came into, I think is 305, as the exterior load bearing walls. And then we're going to have two partitions here, two wall partition that are going to be 203. All right. So the first one that I will be creating is this. I'm going to click on a line. I'm going to click like that. All right. And I'm going to stop here. All right. And then I'm going to move about a little bit more. So I created a line, and then I'm going to create from here to here another line. Now, the reason for this is that I want to extend this a little bit further because this is a French door, and the door is going to be opening like this. So this means that I need a little bit of space here. So when the door is opening like that, this means that the door does have some room to be sliding to this way. All right. So I'm just going to, I can do this a couple of ways. If I have, if I definitely measured this to be, let's say, for example, I'm going to click here, and this is about maybe 20 centimeters or 30. So I'm going to type 300, and I'm going to go down like this. Okay, so I didn't specify actually how long this line is, but I made some room. Okay, if you already have this, or if it's not that big, I mean, according to the measurements that you have in on your sketch. Okay, so so now if I have that, if I have this, and I know what is this line, now I don't know for me. Okay, I know, for example, that this line, I'm just going to, is about maybe 2 meters or something. So I'm just going to click here, or I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to take that line as maybe 2 meters. So something like this. So this is where the end of my kitchen is going to be. Again, this is going to be according to the measurements that you take. And now I have both lines that I'm going to offset this way and this way as my wall lines. Okay, so I'm going to click on offset, enter, and you can see that I have the distance here specified as 305. So you might put this in if you want to, or you might measure the walls, and you have interior walls and they are different. I'm going to also be placing interior walls here. So just in a second, I will show you how to do that. But 305 is good to offset for the outside walls. So I'm going to accept this distance, which is 305, and I'm going to click here. And then I'm going to place this on the side, and then I'm going to click here on the side, and this here. All right. And if I have a little bit of a room on the side, I definitely can use the extend command. So I'm going to click on extend. All right. Now I'm just going to click here, and again, I'm going to click on extend again. And when you hover and it's not picking the line, maybe you can hover here. Now, when this happens, you know that it's not really working. The boundary edges are not really clear for AutoCAD. So the best thing is I'm going to actually delete that line, and then I'm going to click on here, and I'm going to extend this a little bit like that. And then I'm going to go to extend, and I'm going to do this. All right. Again, clicking here and trimming the excess part. And I may also right click and enter to end the command. I may also delete this small line, and I'm going to click here again, and I'm going to click on extend. All right, see, when it's not picking where the edge is, I'm going to go again with to extend it manually like this, and there we go. So I managed to create the exterior wall using on the AWOL layer using the commands or the assignment requirements. So the assignment requirement is that this is 305, and we did that. We saved a little bit of a room here. If you measure that to be, you need definitely to measure those spaces, because I measured my spaces here and I measured the other spaces as well. So try as much as possible to be accurate and take those measurements from your sketch. Okay, so the second thing I'm going to be doing is that I will place an interior partition here. And I actually extended those lines because those lines were like here, just like that. And I wanted to extend them a little bit. So what I did is that I stretched this about, I stretched it about 200 millimeters, but here I stretched this also to 200 millimeter, because what I will, where my my line for the interior wall is going to start from here. So the interior line, I'm just going to click here, then I'm going to go down. All right, and I can hover over here because maybe this is the limit of my kitchen. So I'm going to hover over here and then get, now I'm snapping because I have the O snap tracking turned on. All right, and I also, so I'm not actually clicking, I'm just snapping to know where that line is going to end. Okay, so when it ends here, I'm just going to stop. All right, now I have an open kitchen, so I'm just going to click here to enter, and then I need to offset this with the interior wall thickness. The interior wall thickness that I have is 203 millimeters. So I'm going to use the offset again, and this time I'm going to type 203, enter, and then I'm going to click here and I'm going to offset this to the side. All right, and I still want to extend that, so I'm just going to click on enter, and then I'm going to see if this is going to be extended. It's not. So the boundary edge, I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to extend that. Or the way, is that right? No, it is not. I'm going to click on Control Z here, because if that wall is continuous like this, and most probably it is, so I'm just going to click here. The other line should start from here. So if I have a room, for example, that is next to the kitchen, it probably is on that side. So I'm just going to do like that. And it is very important at this stage, if I want to, bring this in here. This is again dependent on how your kitchen looks like. But if that's where my kitchen end, then all I have to do is that, again, according to the measurement. Okay, if it's an open kitchen concept, I need to show this like this. So we created the interior walls, and we can also do that. We can end that here. So this is the kitchen. This is my kitchen. So definitely yours are going to be a little bit different according to how it looks like. Now, where to put this as the interior wall? Now, if I go back here to the layers that you should be creating, let me check. We have here, I'm going to scroll down to find the partition. All right, so it should be here, one of the partition, it's I. Okay, and I don't, that's the non-load bearing wall. So it's I partition full, blue, and 0.5 as well. So I'm gonna assign a new layer. So basically, it's here, full height, and I'm gonna put this on that layer. So layer properties, new layer, I partition. This needs to be in caps. All right, it's blue and it's inheriting. I'm going to make this the current layer, and it's blue as well, and it's inheriting the same line weight and the same color and line type. And then I'm going to hover over those and click here and assign it here. All right, and clicking escape. So that's the first part of the assignment. If we go back here, to the assignment, we created the walls, we created this, we placed them on the wall. There is no need for you to worry about the exterior outline using the polyline. The polyline command is you're gonna be working with it next. I mean, in the next coming sections of this term, or in 145, which is the advanced course. All right. So as I said, we use the exterior, we use the offset to offset the walls, and this is what you're going to be doing. Later, we're going to be creating the windows and the doors according to those, and then we're going to be placing the equipment or the fixtures on their proper layers.